Today we are going to dive through all of the fun things that unfortunately just me, Lauren didn't go, we saw, did, experienced, smelled, all of the things that go into an RV show. Yes, smelled's a thing. From the Hershey RV show, otherwise known as America's largest RV show. All of that coming up on the RV Shenanigans podcast. Welcome back to the RV Shenanigans podcast. If it's your first time here, I'm Ryan.
I'm Lauren.
And we are the shenanigans holders, doers.
That's the truest statement I think we've ever said on this podcast. We are the shenanigans.
And by the way, this is a little bit of a housekeeping thing just first off. If you are watching this, that's our dog causing shadows in the background who is about to get kicked out of the room completely if she keeps doing this. Would you pull her over there, please?
Mishka, come here.
So we have officially split the Shenanigans podcast off, and that's her tail in the background now.
We are not off to a good start.
This is why we're called Shenanigans. There's all kinds of it, and I'm going to leave it all in because it's kind of funny and entertaining. So for those of you that have said we haven't seen the dogs in a while, there's Mishka's tail. Trust me, they're just the mix of everything as normal. No, we split the podcast off onto its own channel on YouTube. Now, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, whatever your platform you prefer is, we're on a lot of them. Nothing's changed. It's same old, same old. This part's not really for you, so thanks for listening. But if you're watching it, it is on its own channel now. We appreciate those of you that really want the in-depth dive into the RV side of things. Millers and Motions, and I'm not going to say transition because it never really left, but we were making the algorithm mad over on YouTube with putting the podcast there.
More shenanigans.
This time it's YouTube's, not us, even though we're the one that kind of caused it. So, but that channel is going to focus on the travel side of not only RV life, but the occasional cruise and other things we do. Kind of par for the course over there. We're just taking all of the deep dive RV stuff and leaving it here. So, welcome to the new channel. If you're watching this.
New-ish.
New, yeah, I was about to say, it's been around for a while. We just don't use it. So Mishka's just going to do whatever she wants to do.
Yep, that's about her MO, though.
So with that, for this episode, I'm going to hand the primary host duties off to... Lauren. Because she didn't go, I'm going to let her take y'all's seat a little bit and kind of grill me / ask me questions.
Yes.
About the show. So without further ado, that was my drum roll.
We need practice.
Yeah, I just need to not do it is what really needs to happen. But yeah, if I had a preset over here, I could do it, but I don't know which one it is.
All right. So to kick things off, I would say that probably the most common question that we got and that even I had was that, like, we've been to a lot of RV shows and things.
No, we haven't. We've been to one, maybe two RV shows a lot of times.
We've been to a couple. And even when we were looking to buy. So, like, what was the vibe? What was the energy? What was the feel? And was it different than what we've experienced before?
So I should have said this to begin with. This is in Hershey, Pennsylvania, if you didn't gather, Hershey RV show. So just in case you were curious, it was similar getting, well, no, it wasn't even similar getting in. As far as like the people, it was very much so a similar feel in a really, we're used to the Tampa RV show or the Florida RV Super Show, if you may. It's a more compressed version. I know they say it's America's largest RV show. I'm not sure what criteria they use to call it that.
We've always questioned that.
It's definitely not in footprint. Like square footage used kind of a thing. It might have the most RVs. Maybe that's what they're referring to. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know. But this felt very compressed comparatively to Tampa.
Did that make it feel like more crowded?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I gotcha.
So the RV displays themselves were very much so. Like if you've ever been to like a convention center and it's just rows and rows of RVs, it's that 100%. And each display has like a bigger display would have maybe like Alliance is a mid-sized display, and they had 3 rows of RVs that went probably 2 or 3 RVs deep. They had one in the back, and then they kind of, it was like, look, shaped like a big W if you looked at it from the top, or an M, depending on which side you're looking at it from, of aisles, and then there were RVs all around it. The really big displays like the Jaycos of the world, Forest River, those, they were so big, they had brands separated, and then they had small displays made up inside the big display kind of thing. So,
okay.
But yeah, There was a lot going on. I will say too, and I don't know if you're going to ask this question a lot, but that's getting in was a task.
Really?
It was not easy. And I say that in terms of the parking. Once you understood what they were trying to do, trying to get you into parking, it made sense. But there was not a clear, like they say, come here and do this. But it's like, hey, go over here to 45th Avenue, hang a left, and then on 6th Street, take a right, and then go down to Pennsylvania Way, and you're right there. Well, but if you don't, there's no map. So I don't I'm a map person. I want to know where the map is. And so you pull in, and it's really confusing because it says Hershey Park, because it's right there next to Hershey Park, which is the amusement park, parking this way, all other parking this way. Well, I don't know which one I'm supposed to park at because the website didn't tell me. It just said go park. And then you get into it and you think you've made a mistake because you go in through the booth. There's booths on both sides. So which booth? Again, be more clear. And then you literally wrap all the way around the facility.
Oh, wow.
To get back to the parking lot you just passed on your left. So you took a right, took about a 3/4 to a mile detour to get back on your left. And so it just, math didn't math in my head on that one. And so that was confusing. It took me a few rounds to try and figure out to get in. And then there are multiple entrances. That's a lie. I mean, there are, but like unless you're parking in handicap ADA parking or you're a vendor, there's one entrance.
Gotcha.
So if the attendance was 25,000 people in one day, I'm going to say most of that came in through a singular entrance. That line was insane.
Oh, really?
God bless America that I had a creator badge or a media badge because I picked it up the day before on Industry Day. And so when I walked up, I stood in that line for about 20 minutes, and then somebody I knew walked by and go, "Why are you standing in that line? You already have a badge." I was like, because I don't know what it is. Like, I just thought this was the entry line. He goes, "You got a badge, go in this way." And then I bypassed it. It was long, very long. So like to give you an example, from when I got out of line, and I wasn't even to the back, I was probably about a third of the way through it or a quarter of the way through it at that point. It took us another 15 minutes to walk to the front of that line.
Oh, wow.
There's some stairs. So a little slower than normal. But yeah, that was crazy. And then again, I'm not even sure if you've got this on here, but some of it's inside the Giant Center, which is the like arena. It's where they're, it's not amateur hockey. What's the professional league below the NHL? Whatever that is.
Minors?
Yeah, it's like minor league baseball, but it's hockey. It's where that team plays for that area, or Hershey or Harrisburg or whatever the name of the team is. And they had like accessory vendors everywhere. like around the concourse. I didn't know it went all the way around the concourse. But then they also had them on the floor. So like to get down on the floor, you had to walk down the stairs. So you had to walk half of a stadium down, more importantly, half a stadium back up to get out of it, just to see, I'd say half, maybe a little less than half of the vendors.
All the photos I've seen were just the middle part. I didn't know they were in the concourse as well.
Neither did I, and they didn't do a good job of explaining that because there were natural gaps where like restrooms and concession stands sat on the concourse because it's a stadium, not a vendor hall. And so you didn't realize there were more vendors around the corner.
Oh, wow.
And so I didn't notice that until I went to go meet the people at Open Roads to pick up our new fuel card. I may have had an accident. And they were very nice to send a fuel card from where they were with the people going to the show and give it to me there. And I couldn't find them. And I finally called one of them like, "Hey, I can't find you guys."
I'm
like,
lost. Where's
We're on
Waldo?
the concourse. I'm like, "No, you're not." And they're like, "Keep going." I went, "What?" And that's when I realized that it was 5 times the size I thought it was. So,
Well, and also I know that like in Tampa, you used to be able to, I don't know about the future, but be able to stay on the grounds. And there's no
you kind of can now.
There's no camping at the Hershey show, is there?
So there's they have a dry camping lot, but you still have to drive over.
Oh, really?
So even though it's part of the show, lies, it is. The show facilitates it.
Okay.
But it's dry camping only. There is no hookups of any kind, so you're boondocking. I'm sorry, it's not just dry camping. It's full boondocking.
Okay.
So it's a field that they put lines down on, and you've got spots. There were some Alliance owners over there that I saw. So I talked to on the way in because they have a very blue rig, and it stood out like a sore thumb.
In a good way.
In a good way. It was actually a pretty blue. I wouldn't pick it, but it didn't look bad by any means. But yeah, you could camp there if you had the ability to boondock, which if we had the solar system, I would have done it in a heartbeat.
Even though you still had to drive?
Yeah, because you're not driving far, and they had a shuttle if you wanted to take that over.
Oh, okay.
I had to drive in 30 minutes every day from our campground.
Gotcha. The shuttle makes a big difference.
And so, but you still had to, it's not like you could were on the grounds like at Tampa. And I say for Tampa, now this is not necessarily for the general public, but they used to have the rally that you could camp at, and they did electrical. They messed it up so many years in a row, they stopped doing it last year. You could walk back and forth to your rigs. Like if you want to go back to your rig and have lunch, you could do that.
Right.
And then for us, we were lucky enough to work with some of our vendors and sponsors of the channel and the podcast would kind of connect us and get us what's called a vendor site.
Right.
Well, that drastically changed last year at Tampa. So that's, I'm not going to say not an option, but it's a very unlikely option for those of us there. And the rally's gone. So now everybody has to, almost everybody has to stay off site. So it's a very small proportion that can stay on site. So yeah, that's
well. Now that you've sold it as being crowded and kind of a pain to get to, why would somebody want to go to a giant crowded show?
I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, to see the RVs first, like this is where a lot of the main brands unveil and launch all their 2026 products next year. So in this case, 2026. So if you're listening to this next year, 2027 or 2028, hopefully this goes on and on and on forever. But yeah, so for that scenario, it's a lot of the manufacturers do unveilings, that kind of stuff. It's kind of the kickoff to show season.
Right.
So I always say, at least in what we do for the podcast specifically, there's show season and camping season.
Sure.
We're on the back side of camping season and the front side of show season. So it's just if you're not in one, you're in the other.
Well, and from our perspective, I think that you miss a lot when you just look online. So this is nice to be able to put your hands on some of these.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Like, I know at one point we talked about, like, what's the big difference in the first few minutes when you walk in? It's like, well, tangibly being able to touch it. Like, when we were buying our first RV, we were very clear, like, I'm not buying it online. We've bought every other rig that way. But now we have a realistic expectation of what things really kind of feel like in an RV. The first time, no, I'm tactile. I want to touch and feel it and see what I'm getting myself into
We want to
space-wise.
sit on the couches. We want to stand in the shower, that sort of stuff.
See how big the TV is.
Even though you'll replace it anyways.
I just want to know what size I'm replacing it with. That's all.
Oh, good to know. All right. So now that you are into the RV show,
Yep.
and you said that this is where people launch a lot of things.
I'm assuming I've come out of the fetal position in the corner at this point.
I'm assuming that you made it finally into the show, after that line you talked about. So tell me about some of the launches you got to see and like what lived up to the hype.
So as far as like launches, I mean, there's a lot. And I will tell you, I unfortunately got to only spend 2 days there. And full disclaimer, there was a video. There was actually very many videos. Our hard drive, rest in peace.
Cue sad music.
Our hard drive got corrupted somehow, and I spent, 3 days? 3 days constantly trying to recover them, work with, ridiculous companies to try and help recover them. And I thought I did, then I didn't. It was a very much so highs and lows. But
so I still have not seen the Hershey RV show because the footage you have, I haven't seen.
No, because I didn't send you any pictures. I did everything on my camera, and that camera. Yeah. The camera's great. It's the one you're watching us on. The SD card, great. The hard drive, put everything on, bad.
Poo-poo.
Screw you, SanDisk. Anyway, so as far as like big things I saw, and again, I'm probably going to miss a few things here and there just because it's impossible to see everything in 2 days. I'd argue it's impossible to see everything the entire show.
I agree.
It's a lot. But the things that stand out for me as my notes close. So Tiffin had a new Allegro Bus floor plan.
There goes our Tiffin sponsorship. Just kidding.
Allegro Bus floor plan, the 36 AP.
Okay.
It's under 38 feet total.
Okay.
It's by far the shortest bus. The next shortest bus was 42 feet and change.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so now they're I think it was 37 feet, 8 inches or 9 inches or something like that. So, I mean, obviously without a tote or anything else, but I've always said there's a market for smaller, nice things.
Absolutely.
We fall into that category.
We do.
Now, especially now that we're not full-timers, we don't need like if we were going to go to the motorhome side, we don't necessarily have to have a 45-foot tag axle bus.
Right.
I said have to have, not that we don't want. But, to have something that's a nice, higher quality, but also shorter so you can start to fit into some national and state parks, still long, don't get me wrong. I mean, like I feel like to have a really fighting chance at any of that stuff, you really need to bring it much closer to 30 feet. And Tiffin is very much so. They also have the Open Trail, I think was the name of it. It's their new Class B, kind of like off-roady thing. I didn't list it as one of the things for me because no thanks on the van. I love you.
We actually did kind of try that, and so we're not just speaking from lack of experience.
We thought about trying that. We didn't try that.
We sat in it, and we said, "Oh, never mind."
Sitting in it was enough. I didn't need to experience a week camping in it to know that was a mistake.
Yeah.
And so there's that. I would be remiss if I didn't bring up Alliance. So they have, I think, the coolest new fifth wheel floor plan out there, non-toy hauler.
Okay.
And so that was the Paradigm 388 SP. What does SP stand for, Ryan? Side-Patio. And it took me a long time to remember the 388 portion of that. But the SP, the Side-Patio, it's not just your typical drop-down Side-Patio. I love the idea of it, but I hate the execution. Every rig, no matter what, the Valor toy hauler line has a Side-Patio. They leak.
Well, and there are multiple manufacturers that have side patios, but aren't they all toy haulers so far?
No, there's a few others that. So Grand Design also has one now. That's a Solitude line. It's new this year, but what I'm talking about is the traditional toy hauler back end style patio that comes down.
I gotcha.
Alliance one-upped it.
Okay.
So they have a new mechanical, power-driven side patio that comes down from Lippert. That's really cool. Not as big, which I'm actually okay with.
Yeah.
Because sometimes those toy hauler-esque ones get so big, you can't put them down.
That's true.
That's something that Harold and Cindy One Strange Adventure, they run into that occasionally because they have a side patio momentum from Grand Design. And there's occasionally where it's like if it's a tighter rally situation, no go. Or there's a pedestal or whatever blocks slides coming out, that kind of stuff. They said that they can put it down probably about 60 to 70% of the time. The rest of the time, it doesn't matter if they want to or not. It's not going to happen, kind of a thing. So,
gotcha.
But this one being a little bit smaller, I feel like the footprint of it intentionally doesn't go further out than the slides.
Oh, okay.
So there's a slide on that side for the main living, which is in the rear of the coach. And it goes out right at maybe, if it goes out further, we're talking an inch or two, not a lot.
Look at that logic coming into play.
And it's got a drop-down TV from the inside, and it's got pass-through for the kitchen so you can lower windows. It's a really cool design.
Okay.
And then on top of that, most of those side patios, what's the one thing you lose with them if it's up?
The window, the light.
Windows, the lights, you don't on this one. So if the patio's in the up position, you just have a window.
Okay.
And so you still get, like, if you don't want to put it down, or maybe you're just overnighting somewhere real fast where it's like, we're not going to put this down, obviously. You can then, from there, utilize it as just natural light and open window, so it doesn't feel like a cave if you happen to have that down. So it's a really cool, now, it's a new product from Lippert, so grain of salt.
That's right.
I will say, though, this one, spoiler for something we're going to talk about later, if we were looking at RVs, if we were looking at fifth wheels, this would be at the top of the list for me.
Okay.
If I was going towable. So last but not least, as far as things that kind of stood out as I lost my notes, if we were going to go with something that we're kind of currently in, then Brinkley.
Yeah.
Their Model I, which is their lightweight travel trailer, came out with the Model I X line.
Okay.
Not confusing at all.
Not at all.
If you look at the branding, it says Model I, and then beneath it says X-Series or X-Line or whatever it is. So it's their extreme lightweight. So it is a true 3/4 ton towable.
Oh, wow.
But how they achieve things, you obviously lose things in translation.
3/4 ton or half ton?
Half ton.
Okay.
Glad you got that. And so you lose things in translation going down to that size and weight class and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But they did Brinkley's Brinkley. They didn't, I don't feel like they skimped on anything.
Awesome.
You lose things like you're going to have the curtain for a door in the bedroom instead of the wall because the wall weighs something.
Sure.
But how they did it, and I would argue that our floor plan of so we have a 252 RL Delta from Alliance, was the best of that smaller RV. It's not quite half ton towable. It's maybe on the far upper side of that, but it's really 3/4 ton. Or up kind of a thing. This was probably as good of a floor plan if you were going to go very different than what we had. And it still had all of the sizing and everything that I would ask for as far as like shower size, ability to sit down on the toilet, that kind of thing. Okay. So it was cool. And it was done in Brinkley's typical Brinkley fashion where everything's pretty and fancy and shiny. So
then what missed the mark? There's always a lot of hype. There's always a lot of new. What missed?
I feel bad talking ill.
Okay, then we can move on.
And I don't know. And I say this, there's one very hyped up, and it's getting a lot of praise, and I have praise for it as well. But to me, it was a miss. And I say that in terms of this, and this has nothing to reflect on the channel that put it together, but the Grand Design Solitude 414 LJMJ. And I'm going to couple this with, they decided to do a toy hauler version as well, not Less Junk Grand Design. It's great. They didn't make the RV. They just came up with some design features for them that they really liked and then helped execute that. And maybe their personal rig has some changes that alleviate some of the things I'm going to talk about, but so if you don't have kids, it makes zero sense.
Oh, okay.
And I've always felt like if you have kids, like grandkids, we'll use the grandkid analogy. Like I want a rig that's functional for 2 people or 4 if I brought the grandkids along, but mostly us.
Okay.
This is not that rig.
Oh, okay.
Because you lose so much space that's dedicated to their space, to their area. So in the toy hauler version, this is where the toy hauler space would be, which is a very standard toy hauler space. On the Solitude version, it's where the bunkhouse would be.
Okay.
But it's 10 feet of space.
Gotcha.
11 feet, something like that of space. And so, and it's an elevated, kind of like our 390 was. Which I hesitate on just because of our experience. Maybe it's gotten better. But you go up, and it's a cool area if you're full-timing and have kids. But is that a big enough demographic? And a full-timing with kids is what I'm saying.
Full-timing is...
And keep in mind, I did a poll in the community tab on YouTube, which we will do them here on this channel as well. We do them on that Miller's Motion. I was just curious of the people that follow us, how many were full-time versus part-time? So we had 18% say full-time. Okay. And then the rest, obviously, part-time. Okay. There were 490 votes.
Oh, wow.
It's not like it was 12 people. And so I thought that was kind of crazy. Like, even though on YouTube it seems like everybody's a full-timer, that's not a reflection of the industry.
Okay,
that's
a good point.
Just a reflection of YouTube in the creator side. So the only other thing that I would say, and this is a common theme for Grand Design across the board, is the cargo carrying capacity of that RV. I did not look at it for the toy hauler, so I'm only speaking to the Solitude right now. The way that it was stocked there, because I went and found the sticker, was, and I'm going to be generous and say just under 2,000 pounds.
This was a thorn in our side for our Solitude as well.
I'm pretty sure, I didn't remember it off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure it was 1,800 and change.
Okay.
So water by itself, what is it, 3.2 gallons or 3.2 pounds a gallon, something like that. And it's got a 55-gallon freshwater tank. So if you put water in there, you're done. You're not done, but you're really close to done.
Well, and ultimately, like you said, if you are full-time with kids, so you're talking at least 4 people in this rig with their full-time accoutrement. So that's a lot.
You and me have a term that we use very willingly across multiple forums, and that math don't math.
That's true.
And we say that in terms of sometimes it's actually math. Sometimes it's like a financial decision, and it's just, that's our term for something doesn't make sense here. Like it's not adding up. Yeah. And for me, the cargo versus the intent and all that stuff, that math doesn't math. Right. Now, I'll also say too, it has a side patio, which is great and cool, but it's the toy hauler side.
Oh, gotcha.
So as soon as you put it up, you lose the light. Now, and this was, I know, in watching some of their videos, Marissa said that, and they added a window above it, so you still do get light.
Okay, that was good.
But again, the floor plan, the feel, it felt very modular. And I think when you compare it to like the Paradigm side patio that I liked, that felt open. And so I think utilization of space across the board, but there was no bunks in the side patio for the Alliance. And so I just feel like the demographic from the RV industry as a whole is such a small window. And maybe they'll sell a ton of them, and everybody that's got, the other thing too is you got 1 kid, it's massive overkill for that 1 kid. You got 3, makes complete sense. 2, 50-50 on where you value space.
Okay.
So That would I say my miss of the things I found. There was more. Don't get me wrong. There's always the chintzy stuff. There's always the stuff where you go, how does that cost that much?
Right.
Everybody's got a miss. Alliance has a miss.
That's true.
That was just the biggest one I saw, the most evident, like this seems off. Now, that being said, does IS fix that problem with the cargo carrying capacity? Your frame doesn't change, full FYI. An IS weighs like 800 pounds more than a traditional suspension system. So hypothetically, you actually go down in your cargo, but you're not going to bend your axles. That's the disconnect there. And so, but are there modifications that can be done from factory that up that number? Are there things? Should it be a triple axle coach and not a double axle coach?
Right.
Probably. But again, that still doesn't change the frame. And then we get into the whole Grand Design frame conversation. We all know how I feel. We're not going down that road.
We are not going down that road.
And it just the red flags are concerning. That's all.
Let's go down a happier road. How about that? Okay.
We're going to talk about food?
Well, that's coming. But
Oh, is it really?
I know my husband, and I know that while we look at the towables, that is not where your heart lies.
Oh, absolutely. I love Alliance. I promise I do. Because I have to.
So tell me
Not
what you...
because that came out wrong. But I love them because I want to. But let's be honest. Who doesn't want a big shiny tag axle motorhome?
So tell me what you found in drivable land.
So, okay, hang on. You're going to have to define that a little bit better for me because I found a lot. You're going to have to whittle that down a little bit.
As far as like actual travel, like life, you know what I mean? No. Okay.
For us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So, like something that if we were looking for a motorhome today that fits our criteria?
Maybe something that, yes, and maybe something that surprised you or not just new and shiny, but functional. You're like, actually, I really kind of like this.
For life now, not in 20 years kind of a thing? Don't go for the Tiffin Zephyr?
Yeah.
1.2 million kind of a deal? Pretty. I'm pretty sure things break on it just the same, though. So there's two. And as much as I dislike kind of the route Grand Design's gone over the past couple of years and frustrations with them.
Yeah.
And this does not mean I would buy it, but they have that, I don't even remember the name of it because I didn't write it down. But they have they call it a Super C. It's really just a Class C on a Ford chassis.
Okay.
It was done really well.
Yeah.
I mean, the layout's amazing. Everything's very functional. It made sense. I didn't like the dark walls inside of it. It felt a little small.
Okay.
That was really good. Does Grand Design scare me? Absolutely. But it's not a towable either. So I don't know. But that's one of those they're going to have to prove otherwise. For me, and again, we're in that land of we're not in it for very long.
Right.
Week to 10 days max. We're going to test that in Florida because I'm going to be in it for like 3 weeks. And you're going to come down for a week of it. But that's also just me, no dogs. So I'm sure it'll be fine. That would most support what we're actively doing now and probably for the next 5 to 10 years. The Dynamax Isata 5, and I'm going to put a caveat, maybe 6.
Okay.
So the difference, it's going to be their Class C line, but the 5 is a more off-road capable, a little smaller Class C. The 6 is the bigger on the Ford chassis. It's typically the larger of the two. The box is bigger, the stance is wider, all those things. If you're looking to get the comparison, our friends Chris and Aaron over at Iron Travels just did the Isata 6.
Okay.
And so far, at least the last time I talked to them, they love it. That was a few months ago. That could have changed. I don't know. But the reason why the Isata 5 stood out to me, the only thing I disliked, it was on the Ram chassis and not the Ford chassis.
Okay.
And I say that it's going to be like the F6500. It's the 6600 in the Ram chassis. And that's tomatoes. I prefer it, but it doesn't bother me, if that makes sense. But it's the right, like the size, it was like 33 feet or something like that, at least the one I was looking at. And just the shape of it, if we decided to take it out somewhere, we could almost use it as a daily driver. And in my head, not like every day, all the time, but like we wouldn't need a towed. Okay. I feel like as long as we're not going like downtown somewhere, and even then, Uber, I would be perfectly fine taking it to Walmart, perfectly fine taking it into national parks and parking them. And as long as there's RV parking
Gotcha.
or oversized parking of any kind,
Okay.
I wouldn't think twice about it. Some of the things that I liked on, now I will say there's two versions. There's the Explorer and non-Explorer. They almost do the Explorer exclusive now. That's the one that's going to have the larger mud tires on it, the higher end. It uses LiquidSpring for the shocks.
Okay.
So very top end on that side of things. But it doesn't have as top end of a price.
Oh, okay.
Like a lot of those style of RVs, you're thinking Earth Roamer,
Oh, yeah.
the Hilt from Storyteller.
Okay.
The cheap ones are 600,000-700,000, and this one falls in the high ones, low twos, somewhere in that ballpark.
Big difference.
Yeah, I'm saying that sale price. MSRP is probably like 250, 275, somewhere in there. And I am guessing a little bit. Verify information before you go running around looking for stuff.
Ryan said it was only $100,000.
Right. But I think the thing I liked about it is like it really, like Liquid Springs has this, they call it earth leveling.
Okay.
There's no leveling jacks on this thing.
Oh, really?
Because there's such an extension, you can lower the entire coach, raise the entire coach using, I think they said 7 or 8 inches. Again, off-road capability. If you're on the highway, lower that thing down, you get better fuel economy. If you're trying to clear something, nope, raise her up. It's going to stiffen your suspension, so you have to be aware of that. But they use that 7 or 8 inches of play to raise and lower the coach on all 4 corners.
Oh, okay.
And so your leveling system isn't a jack system that you're used to. Your tires are never going to come off the ground because they're never going to change their angle.
I gotcha.
And so it uses the coach itself to level it to the ground right there.
And that is one of your pet peeves, so that fixes that.
It does fix that. I think the other thing too that was kind of interesting about the whole thing was like I've in my head, if I could go on like a week-long, we'll call it a walkabout. We're going to go with our Australian side of here.
Excellent.
No, but like if I was going to do the show my way, I would have driven something like this to the show. No tow car, no anything. I would have rationed for everything, maybe only eaten out once or twice. I would not have stopped at Love's on the way up. I would have just found somewhere like probably Cracker Barrel, let's be honest. I would have pulled in, I would have slept, I would have eaten, I would have gotten back on the road.
Gotcha.
Even for the show, I would have driven it to the show. I'd have gone into the show. For lunch, I probably would have gone back and had lunch at the rig, sit down for a second, go back into the show, and then just move on. I'd either dry camp with it, maybe expand the batteries, but it's already got inverters on it. It's already got all those things. Again, not like amazingly powered stuff. It's not like what we had on our Valor as far as like extensive, but it is. The interesting thing about it, though, is that it is still got a generator, quiet diesel generator. It's an all-electric coach. I just kicked the camera.
It wasn't just an earthquake.
Yeah, we're in Texas. What's happening? Fracking. And so it's just intriguing. Like I think I brought this up when we were in the Smokies. I was like, what would be fun is to come up here, or like a national park in general, and just boondock on the way up because you can. Just stay at a Cracker Barrel, go into the park, do your things, drive it over here, and then just find somewhere else to park for the night that's safe and obviously relevant. I mean, every once in a while, you're going to obviously have to do an RV park, but minimize it. Like I would love to be able to do that more.
Okay.
The thing about our travel trailer now is we are very much so tied to a pedestal.
Yeah, we are.
And I don't love it.
Yeah.
It's annoying me more and more. So.
All right. So moving away from the rigs, the RVs themselves.
Oh, boy.
Tell me about some of like the tech, the systems. Have things come a long way? Have they changed things? What'd you notice?
As I readjust here real quick.
It's your show. Do whatever you want.
I'm sliding. It's yours too, Missy. Sliding in my chair. So I will say, like, I think motorhomes have been pretty advanced in that department. So no, not really. I mean, it's getting better. Like there's new slide mechanisms coming out, which is really cool. I'm going to throw this in there because we all know, well, I say we all know, you and I are very aware of how much we don't really love Twin-Techs. And cables are like, I like them better, but it's like picking which side of your face you want to be whacked in. It's not like I don't feel like there's a great option. There's just one that's a little like, which headache do you want?
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of a thing.
Okay.
Sharp pain or dull pain. And so Lippert, I know, Lippert. So they are the ones that did the Schwintek, but they came out with a new slide system. If you've ever seen, they didn't make Vroom, but it's like Vroom. So it's actually a rail that sticks out, and then there's cogs on both sides of it versus just one. You can stop and start it along the track. You don't. It's synchronized much better.
Okay.
It's a much more sturdy. It's only been out for 6 months. You're seeing some late 25s have it, and quite a few 26s have it.
Okay.
I don't believe Alliance is utilizing it now, but I know that they're looking at it. Alliance has a little bit of a different. This is a great idea. Let's do it. They don't. They actually will put it on a few test coaches and actually put it through its rigors before they agree to put it on production line coaches. Okay. So I don't know if they've actually put one on yet or not, but I know they're talking about it. So that was interesting. There are a few of the higher end RV manufacturers, Brinkley, and the towable side that are utilizing more forward-facing motorhome features now. So Brinkley is moving away from LCI OneControls, which has then been the bread and butter in the industry for a long time.
Yeah.
You either did manual or LCI. So like Alliance does manual. They are using the Firefly system now.
Oh, really?
Which is a very motorhome thing.
Yeah.
That's if you ever see the screen with all the information on it in a motorhome, that's what that is. There's a couple versions of it out there. They're not all Firefly. That just happens to be what Brinkley's using. And then Brinkley, even from that standpoint, their standard now comes with a multi-plus inverter on it.
Okay.
And I say a multi-plus, a Victron component. Like solar systems, that's not even the correct term. Solar upgrades from the manufacturer were like if you got a lithium battery, it was a big day.
Oh, yeah.
And like a 200-watt panel up on the roof. The charge controllers were, let's be honest, it's what was cheapest.
It's true.
And I think that they're realizing now that they're breaking a lot because they're just not built the right way. Victron is, in my opinion, a leader in that industry. I think there's a lot that are catching up fast, but Victron's still out in front. That's all the blue solar equipment you see floating around there. We've had both their systems exclusively.
And we had really good, I would say, experiences.
Yeah, you do have to know it a little bit because you still have to know your limits and all that. Sure. But other than that, like it's as user-friendly and easy as you're going to make something like that, at least to this point.
Okay.
They are putting what they call their standard solar system, which is one multi-plus, which is a 3,000 watt inverter, and 400 amp hours of. No, I was wrong. Sorry. Whatever two of the game changers are from Battleborn, I think they're around 280 amp hours.
They're
or three.
almost 300.
So
each.
I'm going to say it's somewhere around 600 amp hours.
Right, just under
standard.
Okay.
And then they have their upgraded version, which they put two multi-pluses in, so you both lines get a 3,000 watt. And you can actually run the ACs. So like the way they have it now, you still can't run the ACs on it.
Oh, okay.
But you can, all your other plugs, literally everything else in the coach works. They dummy proofed it. So like if you could potentially blow the inverter, they don't, or the fuse or the breaker for the inverter, they don't want you to be able to do that.
So you couldn't run one AC?
No, well, so if you do a system yourself, you can do that, but they wired it so that you can't overload the line.
Okay.
Whereas like with our systems, because we installed them, we ran that risk, especially on the Solitude. And when we had our smaller inverters, we could overload the system, which we did occasionally.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't mean to, but you have to be very aware of your power management. So that's a big one, I would say.
I would say so too, yeah.
Doing that, and I will say Brinkley always seems to be kind of the leader on that front. I think Alliance does it in a good way, but they're also very price conscious. They're not like Brinkley's are expensive.
They are.
In fact, the model, I think it's Model M, the toy hauler, that was in it. The MSRP of that thing was $230,000.
Oh, it's over 200 now.
Yikes! But it was a cool floor plan. It was that front office one that I had and now I don't have video on. Yeah. Awesome. It was actually my favorite new floor plan for that kind of like a toy hauler. But yeah, it comes with a price tag.
That's true.
And I will say we're obviously omitting a brand right now, and that is a brand new brand. They're called Axiom RV.
Yeah.
I feel like they are also pushing that line pretty hard, but they are, when I say brand new, they are brand spanking new. They were not at Hershey.
Oh, okay.
Or if they were, they hid somewhere and I did not see them.
Okay.
So, and they are doing some pretty cool stuff. We're hoping to have something over them soon for you.
All right. So then as far as designs go, like you always get like a feel for what they're changing, colors they're using, kind of aesthetics they're going for. So what's the design trend you saw?
I mean, I think it's just a continuation of what we've seen in 2025 is a lot of manufacturers moving towards lighter residential style colors, which I like and dislike. I mean, I think that's, you have to, when you start getting into some of these new design trends, you have to be a little careful because they are a more opinion-based thing.
Okay.
Like I like the warm feeling of our Delta.
I do too.
And I'll be sorry, anybody Alliance that's listening to, especially Joe or Jeremiah, but I don't care for the new Delta interior as much. It's not bad by any means. I'd be perfectly happy with it, but it felt, and I will say, I've only seen one in person, and it was one of the protos, so this may have changed a little bit, but it did feel a little sterile almost.
Okay.
And I get it that a lot of people want that lighter color. It definitely felt bigger, even though we're in the exact same floor plan, but it did feel a little too light.
Okay.
In my opinion. It's
That's
kind of like
fair.
the all-white kitchen when you also have the white countertops, the white backsplash. It just feels like you're in a surgical room versus anything. It feels clean as all get out. Don't get me wrong, but it's an RV. That's not going to last.
That's true.
So,
Okay. So then moving on. If somebody goes to the show and they don't have $230,000 to spend on a toy hauler, they're a little bit more value conscious or budget conscious. Tell them some things you found.
so I mean, I would say most of the entry-level manufacturers, whether you go with what I call a specialty manufacturer or a broad manufacturer. So a broad manufacturer would be like Forest River, Thor, Winnebago. They got a little bit of everything for everybody. A little bit more specialty would be like Alliance, Brinkley, Storyteller, Overlander, those kind of things where it's more they kind of focus on a particular thing and stay in that lane.
Okay.
And then there's super specialty, which is like Earth Roamer, or even Axiom to this point. And so I from the kind of entry level, everybody's got something. And I'm going to steal a line from Josh, the RV nerd.
Okay.
1000% because it's right. At the end of the day, you have to find what you like.
Absolutely.
And just the one thing I would say as far as like looking more budget conscious things is have a budget in your head and stick to it. Don't, because you get there and you're going to go, oh, but this one doesn't have floor vents. Floor vents are cheaper.
That's true.
They are. There's design flaws with them. They do have to put holes in your floor, which I'm not a huge fan of. We don't like them because of the pet hair thing.
Sure.
But there are other reasons why. And there are other things you're going to skimp. Like talking about Firefly systems and all of that stuff. You ain't getting any of that. You're going to get manual switches. We've only had manual switches for 2 coaches now. I don't have a problem with
I don't have a problem with them at all.
And so I do think looking budget conscious, I still think Alliance rules that area from the towable side.
Okay.
I think you get the most bang for your buck.
I think you get more quality for the buck in some corners of that too.
The bonus stuff you get is the community, the customer service. They really do try to do the right thing, barring you breaking the rig. Not intentionally necessarily, but believe it or not, your car, like if you have a warranty claim, it doesn't matter the manufacturer, and it's a potential weight issue, you better have CAT scale. I've been asked for them.
Oh yeah.
And so we weigh our rig about, well, now that we're part-time, about every 6 months. We used to weigh it every quarter no matter what.
Yeah.
And that way, if anybody came back and said, oh, this is an evidence of being overweight. No, it's not. Because I'm not. Here's my stuff. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that.
If somebody at the show was actually looking to buy, do you have any suggestions, recommendations on like pricing, negotiation, that sort of thing?
No, I think now is actually, and I say now, like over the last 5 years, looking at industry trends,
Okay.
/ listening to Josh's little industry thing he does once a quarter, the market right now is being carried by travel trailers and a little bit of fifth wheels.
Okay.
So if you are looking for motorhomes, go get you something, assuming you can afford it.
Right.
Because, I do say there's a little bit of a disconnect. Maybe it might be next year where the optimal time for that kind of stuff is. But like the sales numbers for 2025 on motorhomes is just in the tanker.
Still. Okay.
Well, it's the most expensive thing. Rigs have gotten more and more expensive.
They have.
I would argue, especially on the motorhome side, they've kind of reached that line that they've outrun the market now.
Okay.
And so like the Tiffin Zephyr is a great example. I pray that they only made 5 of those this year. Because I don't know. I mean, the person looking at the Tiffin Zephyr doesn't want a Prevo for some reason. But it's the same, or a Newell, because it's in that category.
Wow. Okay.
And so but why would you take a more mass-produced coach, even if that one's not, and it's not mass-produced, they build them one off. But why would you go down that road knowing they're going to use mass-produced parts versus like a Newell? You may spend $100,000 more, which at that point, let's be honest, that's like building a house and then going, well, if you upgrade to this cabinetry, it's a lot better and it's only a few $1,000s. Right. Do it at this point. It doesn't matter.
Pennies in that budget.
Yeah. And so, looking side to side, like why would you not do the Newell over that unless you just really don't like anything they have to offer design wise? Again, these are all one-off builds. We're not talking about production line anything. And so, from that standpoint, yeah, you can get some deals. Unfortunately, travel trailers and I'm going to say lightweight fifth wheels are carrying the market, so they are what they are.
Okay.
As far as like pricing strategies and all that stuff, I've always gone with the mentality of expect to get between 18 and 22% off. I feel like the theory behind shows hasn't changed. So if you're going into, I get asked the question a lot: should I buy at a show or should I just go buy from a local dealer? Well, at the end of the day, get the best price you can get, buy it there. Now, sometimes you have to be at shows, but I will tell you, you can leverage shows to get a better deal.
Absolutely.
did.
You should.
And that's exactly what we did. We went to the Tampa show looking for our first coach. We bought it from a dealer here in Texas and leveraged the show price to do that.
And we were literally sitting in the Tampa show talking to the dealer in Texas.
You know, Jesse from Finding Our Someday still says that that's one of the more interesting stories she's ever heard. I ran into him up there for a brief second, and she's like, "You guys were sitting on the curb," because they just them and Finding Our Someday and Less Junk were doing a meetup, and it was right where we were having a conversation. It kind of just appeared around us, and we were literally sitting on the curb negotiating our coach back in Texas with it. And I'm literally giving my credit card, and then there's the lines of people start showing up, and so we met them and told them the story, and they're like, "That's how they remember us." So, yeah. But I would say at the show you can expect to kind of not have to haggle as bad. Haggle. Don't not haggle.
Yeah, still haggle.
Still, you know, put them to the grind.
The answer is no if you never ask.
Yeah, it's always no if you never ask. I can tell you, push the line with Jeremiah. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't
Because
throw
honestly, you're not going to negotiate with Jeremiah. He's there for dealer support. And if he hears that, I'm sorry, buddy. But
I'm trying to stick up for you.
I will say that you're probably going to get at the minimum the 18% when you're, and this is all off of MSRP, 18% off. So when you see a show price, it's pretty discounted compared to what they would list it on the lot for.
True.
Remember, everything is based off of MSRP. So when you do that, when you go into a dealership, and if you don't, like if your final deal lands at like say 8%, maybe step back and look at it again, or go talk to a different dealership, shop around, that kind of a thing. If you land at 25%, write the check and run.
All right. I'm going to put a little caveat there. I don't like to be rushed. And so if anybody ever says, if you get up, you know, we're done, it's no deal, then that's fine. That's kind of my sign.
That actually for us is this is a one-time offer right now. Like, well, I'm out.
Then I'm out. Unless I can go think about it, maybe even sleep on it.
I want you to work for my affection. Slash
He's
money.
a little high maintenance like that.
Very high maintenance.
Moving on. All right. Let's go quick picks. All right. Okay. I know it's going to take a lot for you to keep it kind of short, but can you rapid fire like best couples trailer?
The Alliance 388 SP.
Okay. Do you have a reason particularly?
It's just a cool floor plan. I think, I mean, if you have extra people sleeping, it's going to be an absolute pain.
Okay.
It's 2 people sleeping, but you could do 12 for dinner.
Okay.
And even more for cocktails if they don't mind standing outside.
This is not foreshadowing, just so y'all know. I don't think we're actually getting an SP, so... But anyways, all right.
I'm working on that Isata.
Yeah, he is. Family trailers.
Okay, so this contradicts what I said earlier, but I would actually say if it's a true family, the Solitude 414 LJMJ.
Okay.
You just have to be okay with the caveats.
Okay, and that's mainly directed at full-timers, you said?
I think it is, but at the same time, too, if you have a large family and you're not full-timing, the cargo carrying capacity might not be as big of a deal.
Okay.
So it may be a better fit for that, just from what the rig can do, like realistically without breaking, kind of a thing. So, and I know it's contradictory, but it's a good rig. I had to pick my least favorite and kind of annoying, and it has some quirks. That's why I ended up in that category. Doesn't mean I don't like it.
No, and we'll see.
It's not for us, but
we'll see once it hits the road and gets used. You know, kind of how all that shakes out, just like our 390 did.
Yeah.
All right, boondock-ready, like out of the gates.
So. I'm going to take motorhomes out of this just because I talked the Isata 5. We should go get one. I'm not.
Hi, Isata. Can we have a sponsorship?
I'm actually going to say the Forest River, we love you. Just kidding, Alliance. So you're here for the information, stuck with the jokes. I would say the Keystone Walkabout. Walkabout. It's a travel trailer. Now, I will say it's got some caveats.
Okay.
I do think from a trailer perspective, you don't see as many travel trailer boondock ready.
True.
You see
Yeah.
vans, you see
do.
adventure trucks, you see that kind of stuff. You see Ryan whacking his mic for the 4th time. You see a lot of that kind of stuff, but trailer wise, you don't see very much, and so that's why I picked this. It's interesting. I don't know if I like it or dislike it. There's definitely some things I didn't like about it that just somehow magically went away.
Oh.
It's so one of the biggest things I would say to be a little careful of is it actually has a skylight in the slide.
In the slide.
In the
I
slide.
was trying to see what slide was.
Saloon.
In the slide. That's goofy.
So it's a window. It's a window up there. It doesn't open. But
That worries
the
me.
first thing I thought of, well, actually, there's 2 things that popped in my head because I was sitting there looking at this. And the reps were all around me. I was trying to be quiet. I was not filming because I didn't know what I was looking at still. And I was like, okay, summer in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
It's like slide walls are already very hot because they're not as insulated as the regular walls. So heat comes in through those a lot more.
Yep.
It's like, so now you just added a magnifying glass on top. It's like, I'm pretty sure when I was like 8, I used to take a magnifying glass and
Right.
chase down ants. Like, I don't want to be the ant. And then 2, what if you're in a hailstorm?
Oh, that's a good point, too.
Still an RV, man.
Yeah, true.
Like, I think RVs are better built today, but like, remember when Elon Musk came out with the Cybertruck? It's bulletproof, and then he threw a baseball at it and it broke the dang window. That's what I'm imagining. Like, it won't break, and then like a bird's going to land on it, it's going to splinter or something stupid or random. So I think it's the most capable of the off production line stuff. It's brand new, by the way. But there are that's weird.
That is goofy. All right. And if you had all the money in the world to spend on a luxury coach, where would you go?
Production or one off?
It's up to you.
It's going to be a motorhome. That's just because money. So I would say dual. If I was going to do a one off, I'd do a Newell.
Oh, okay.
But I also don't have 1.5 expendable dollars, million expendable dollars.
Million, yeah.
Yeah, I have $1 maybe.
Maybe.
Realistically, probably a Tiffin Allegro bus or comparable in other manufacturers. So like Integra Cornerstone, Newmar King Air. I think the King Air is the comparable. Whichever the comparable one over there is. So,
Okay.
But I lean towards. I just like the aesthetic better. But I'd probably say a bus of some kind.
I gotcha.
Not sure which floor plan, but bus.
And I realized we talked about like systems and rigs and all kinds of things. I didn't ask you about accessories. So back to the concourse.
Yeah, let's finish this section, then we'll go back to that.
Oh, okay.
You got one more. Unless you're going to skip it.
Oh, I was going to skip it, but
Oh,
that's
okay.
fine.
Best value, Alliance Delta. I honestly think it's the best.
Do you?
Most bang for the buck you get out there. It's not the cheapest, but it is nowhere near the most expensive. It falls in the middle of that category for an MSRP trailer that's between $50,000 and $63,000. You're going to get it 18 to 22%, 20% off, somewhere in that ballpark for what you get for that dollar amount is insane. I'm talking regular Delta.
Right.
If you are okay going down to the lightweight version, you're going to get an even better deal because it's not that different. The interior, all that stuff, the structure, it's not that different. You just have a regular cap instead of a molded front cap. It's all a weight thing. It has nothing to do with value. And so I honestly think it's the best value for what you get for the money. So, okay. Anyway, what did you want to go to?
Accessories.
It's allergy season in Texas. Accessories are weird because they don't really, there's not a lot of innovation on that front ever. It's kind of the same old, you know? I think the most intriguing accessory right now to me, and I may have actually looked at doing this if this existed when we had our fifth wheel. MORryde finally came out with a version of their of a gooseneck alternative. So think think Gen Y.
Yeah.
Think Reese Goosebox, I think is what it's called. But the rationale behind it is genius.
Okay.
So if you know MORryde's pin box line, it's the rubber pin box. There's only one. And then they have, depending on the weight of your coach, so like our Valor had the HD version and then the Solitude had the standard. It's just which rubber disc they use on the inside. That's what moves 360 degrees to allow for movement and chucking and to kind of deaden all that stuff.
Always treated us well.
It is, yeah, and it worked great. I liked it better than most other things. I can tell you, we tested a Gen Y and I hated it.
Yeah.
But I also feel like we had the wrong one. So caveat there.
True.
Granted, they told me to get that one, and I kind of said, "Are you sure?" And it's like, I feel like I'm on the line. I should go to the bigger one. They said, "No, do this one," and I hated it. But so Gen Y has a torsion flex system, so it's rubber bands, not like what you buy at the store. But
the idea.
They're bands of rubber that are stretched, and that's what's moving around. And I think they said they have a 5-year warranty. That's it. You're supposed to replace those at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're designed to be.
okay.
They will wear out and replace.
Well, that's kind of
It's
important to
not
know,
the
don't you
same
think?
Rubber. Well, because like they even tell you like it'll take 1,000 miles, whatever it is, to break them in.
Yeah.
So they're really tight at first. As soon as they start moving, they release, and then from then on out, they're only deteriorating.
Ooh.
And so they get over time, it'll get bouncier and bouncier until they either are so bouncy you can't take it anymore, or they're just completely broken, and your rig won't sit up anymore like how it does.
Okay.
Then you have the Reese Goose Box. There's an airbag in there. Well, it's notorious that you have to continuously refill the airbag.
Oh, yeah.
Airbags just leak.
Yeah,
they
they
all do. And so and this one has plagued the reason. It's the one downside of the Goose Box. And the design of it, I've heard it's pretty difficult to connect and unconnect from a truck. The Gen Y is significantly easier. So you take something like the MORryde rubber pin box Kingpin version that has a 15-year warranty on the rubber. So essentially, it will outlive the rig. And even if it doesn't, you can remove everything and just get the piece. You don't have to like Gen Y. I don't know that they have a replacement for that. I think you have to buy a new
I don't
pin
even know
box.
how you would put the replacement on there either.
You'd have to disassemble it, which is heavy. So for this, you just remove a couple of bolts. I've taken our assembly apart for inspections.
Sure.
And on that one, you just take it, you take the rubber out, you put the new one in, done.
Ta-da.
It's put back together. And the fact that it's a goose, and it is a straight, it's not a conversion, so you don't put it on your Kingpin. You remove your entire assembly.
Okay.
You're down to just the framed portion with the holes in it. You slide. I'm saying this like you can do it one-handed. These things are heavy. Don't ever, you need help, I would argue, take it there. But you install this, it's now a gooseneck. The rubber pin box portion of it is down by the goose.
Okay.
And so it goes all the way down. Now, it's a cumbersome boy. But that, to me, more metal equals more stability. It also means more pin weight. But they said it does overall, from the standard rubber pin box to the gooseneck conversion, they said it's about 70 pounds heavier.
Oh, okay.
So, well, it's steel.
Yeah, it is.
I will say it's not aluminum. It's not anything else. Those things are 70 pounds total. Sorry.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I think it's like a 30 or 40 pound. I mean, it's heavier because it's just that much more metal.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, I think it's like 70 pounds total. So like I put on our Gen Y by myself.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, I got smart and used our lift in my truck and didn't break anything. But this, I'm not sure I'd be able to. So
Okay. All right. Well,
other than that, I mean, Patio X is cool if you're looking for that. Accessories are accessories. There's just not a lot of new stuff. I mean, get the things. This is that one we talked about it in another episode of like, just if you're buying an RV, like go in lightly at first. Like there's things that I feel like you're going to need: sewer hoses,
Sure.
water hoses, connectors, that kind of stuff. But take it easy on everything else.
Okay.
And then as you need it, buy it. Now there's some things you can also do at these shows. Open roads, you can actually sign up and get a card right there now because they changed some of
nice.
that up.
I
Also,
like that.
on open roads, if you're a new user at the moment, you can actually use your credit card. Old users still can't. Tara.
about that, Tara.
They're working on it. I would have waited personally. I'm sure they're getting bombarded. But you also told us to talk about it, so sorry. Other than that, there's a ton of campgrounds. I never know why. Come stay with us in 3 months. I don't know where I'm going to be next week.
Right. That's kind of goofy.
And I get if you're there for like a name recognition branding thing, makes complete sense.
Right.
But there were so many of them trying to get people to like now Thousand Trails makes sense because there's a membership portion of that, but most of them don't have. They're just like, come stay with us. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to be. No.
Right. Or the dates or
Well, you're at an RV
anything,
show. I don't have my
like,
calendar with me. I mean,
that's
I
kinda
do,
weird.
but I always do. Sorry.
It almost seems better to have like an incentive or a discount if you're able to somehow do something.
You'd think.
Like that. Okay.
Maybe they did and they just didn't say it, which doesn't make sense.
All right. Was there anything that I missed as far as what you wanted to tell them or to tell me about?
I think the only thing from the show perspective would be lunch was miserable. And I say that in terms of it's like 5 or 6 food trucks, and it's a shotgun style, like galley style line of them.
I'm sorry, we didn't touch on food, your favorite.
That was it. There's not much to it. It was so chaotic. I missed the Chick-fil-A truck that was there.
Oh, no.
Ended up with crappy chicken tenders.
Oh, that's terrible.
And I could have gotten, for less money, a chicken sandwich. And so, yeah, I didn't realize that. I was eating my chicken tenders, and Daryl Tolson rolled up. and stole one of my French fries. I wasn't eating them. And was like, I'm going to get Chick-fil-A. I don't know why you got that chicken. And that's when I about threw my chicken at him.
Wah, wah, wah.
Love you, Daryl, but not at that moment. And I walked with them and talked. But yeah, it's chaos. It's as organized as you can make it. There's just because the physical footprint's so much smaller. Yeah. I would say if you just want to be around the brand new stuff quickly, go to Hershey.
Sure.
The area is gorgeous, and there's Hershey Park. I understand why people would want to go.
Okay.
If I'm going just for the RV show, I would skip it.
Okay.
I'd actually go to Tampa. Tampa was more fun as a whole. It's more spread out. You don't feel like you can smell as many people. Well, like someone's like a little sweaty and BOE, and they're right next to you. Like, nothing.
You did promise smells at the beginning of this.
I did.
You sure did. So.
Chick-fil-A wasn't one of them. Otherwise, I would have been there. So from that standpoint, I would do Tampa. I prefer Tampa.
Okay.
I don't know that we will, unless invited by Alliance or somebody to do something specifically for it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm ever going to go back to Hershey unless you just really wanted to go to Hershey Park. I'll be honest, I didn't get to do any of that because I was only there for 2 days.
Or the chocolate. You didn't get to do the chocolate.
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
Which allegedly they piped the smell of chocolate into the town, which is insane, and I want it so bad.
Oh.
I was down there once for a dinner, for a sponsored dinner, and I didn't smell it. Also, my allergies are really bad. So from that standpoint, do Tampa. Yeah, that's about it, I think. If you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them either in the comments down below, or you can reach out to us through our normal socials. If you just go to RV Shenanigans or RVShenanigansPodcast.com, magically gets to us.
Well, and you can tell us if there's a floor plan you want us to kind of do a deeper dive into, an accessory, something that you really want us to give our 2 cents on and whatnot.
Well, and I think, too, what's important to note about how this podcast is going to go forward. I know we talked to be the show about how there's some transition and that's kind of coming into its own. Well, obviously, we've been talking for a hot minute, but the vet hasn't called, I don't think, or did they?
No, they didn't.
We're waiting for the vet to call on Bailey. She's got a cough. We've got new segment ideas. This is going to be all RV all the time. Now we do have like RV travel to destinations.
Sure.
Like we've got a show coming up. We're finally doing a podcast recapping our time at the Wisconsin Dells.
It's only been a day or two.
By day or two, she means like 4 months.
Yeah, it's true.
There's been some stuff going on.
A few things.
Like our time, like state parks, that kind of stuff. We're going to deep dive into the travel as well in podcast form, but we have new segments like Faces Behind the Industry, and we're going to deep dive with some channels and like what really got them into it, or
that's good.
What makes them tick, if that makes sense.
Oh, should we share those secrets? I don't know.
Or not. They are. That's the beauty of it. It's not us. Those kind of things. But yeah, if you really want to watch the travel stuff, make sure you're on Miller's in Motion. If you're all about the RV stuff, you're in the right place. Congratulations. You did it.
And so did you.
Kind of. We're not done.
Oh, goodness.
Am I taking back over, or is it still you?
This is all yours. I've asked all the questions I need to ask.
So I've got one question for you before we signed off.
Oh, boy.
How did it feel driving the podcast?
Not too different, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah, we're easy to, we talk to each other pretty easily. It's why we get along most of the time.
Exactly.
But let me phrase that. You're willing to put up with me while we talk.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, okay. Thank you so much for listening / watching. Again, if you have any questions, if you just head over to millersinmotion.com, rvshenanigans.com, rvshenaniganspodcast.com, any of the socials, you'll find everything there, by the way. Reach out to us, ask the question. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave a comment down below. Big favor, if you could rate and review the show on your favorite podcast platform or share it with a friend if you're on YouTube, any of the things. We are having to grow this on the YouTube side from the ground up.
Woohoo.
Which means chaos. No, it just means we have our work cut out for us. So any help we can get would be much, much appreciated. Yeah.
All right.
See you next week. Or talk to you next week. One of the two. I'm not sure which.